we just got to crack on. I'm at that point in the project where I kind of need to be done with it. Hi, welcome back to Taking Time with Tasha. Today I am working on another house project because I've had one of my ideas, and as usual I basically fell in love with something that was a little bit too expensive for my particular budget, so I'm going to try and amalgamate some other stuff together to hopefully make something similar. So this was the lovely light that I fell in love with the beautiful glass globes on it, but I wasn't really prepared to spend £300 on the light, so what I'm trying to do is pull together something similar with the help of this particular light that I chose, which has 3 of these little cages, which I plan on filling with a lighting gel like they use in the theatre, because they're good for holding up against high temperatures, and so hopefully that will create a similar sort of effect for me. So to start with, what I'm going to do is to use just some heavy paper, unnecessarily heavy paper probably, and to make up a template for the different shaped pieces I'm going to need. And I also purchased some of the lighting gel from a place called Dapper. They have come and are darker coloured than I was intending. I think the colours they show you on the website are the colour of the light that it projects rather than the colour of the gel itself. So that was my bad. I misunderstood, and that's what happens, I guess, when you're using things for other purposes than they were intended for. But I'm going to put it together and give it a go anyway and see what it turns out like, because it might throw some really pretty different shades of light around the place for me. Not a terrible first shot, I don't think. We should make a full markup, shouldn't we? We should at least take these ones in this place. Yeah, be sensible. So my mock-up actually looks quite like how I intended it to. I don't know if the top ones are slightly too wide, but I wonder if having a little bit of extra ease might help me. I've got to decide what's going to go where, because I want them to all be a mix. I've got 3 cages and 3 colours, and I just want to mix them up. So I think I went entirely overboard buying this high temperature clear silicone, and I hope this is going to be easy enough to control. I'm going to apply the silicone to the inside of the frame, I think, and then try and stick the pieces into place. I'm nervous. It's kind of hard to know where to put your hands. Okay, that does look quite cute. Oh, this might be a really nice idea. Woo! So as you can probably tell from the mess around me, I am making progress. My first one looks super cute. I'm really pleased. It's got a real stained glass look about it, which I hadn't actually made that connection. I was just looking to try and make kind of coloured glass surroundings. I think the silicone was getting a little bit dry when I was working with this one. So what I'm going to do now is cut all the pieces, and I am going to make the top part slimmer, because these ones do slightly overlap in some places, but probably not problematically so. But I can't believe it's actually coming off. Okay, let's do this. Again. So it's the following day because classically I underestimated how long this was going to take me. And so I managed to finish one of the lanterns, which is looking okay. It hasn't taken incredibly everywhere, but I think it pretty much does the job. I've worked out that hair grips are really quite good for holding the pieces. They're a little bit reluctant to go in or stay in place while they cure. So I think I'm going to grab a load more of those and use those for anywhere that's being a bit tricky. But it's coming along quite nicely. I mean, it's very pretty, if nothing else. We just got to crack on. I'm at that point in the project where I kind of need to be done with it, even though I am enjoying it. But I did also have to stop yesterday because 1, it got too late, and 2, the smell of the silicone was starting to get to me and affecting my head a bit, I think. So, faster today, get it over with. So I'm just replacing this couple of films that I messed up. Wiping off the excess permanent marker from the edges, so that doesn't cause me a problem, because that doesn't really stick. Okay, so this is my last lantern to do. As you can see, I've got loads of film left, so don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'll probably come up with something at some point. My original one from yesterday, which is dry, so I've removed all the bits. That's in the blue and purple. As you can see, it reflects the light really nicely. I mean, it is pretty, isn't it? Okay, let's keep going. That's the motivation that I needed to keep going. I think I got faster with the silicone, which I think has really helped. And I've also found that doing the tops first and then putting the bottoms in after, I think, was easier to control because the bottoms are entirely flat, as with the tops have this curve in them. And needing to place the hair grips to help hold that into place. I've been trying to put a bit of a blob of silicone into the corner points where 2 of the wires meet one another. If I were to do this again, I think maybe I'd need to find a different glue solution. Though this is clear, it's not been as easy as I had hoped to control. So I'm still here on the floor. But just got 2 more bottom sections to go, and then I am done. If you stuck with me for this long, I mean, well done to you as well, because I've been close-ish to giving up. It's just lucky it's pretty. When it gets to the end, the difficult bit is trying to hold it in such a way that you can get into the section that you need to work on. Let's try not to mess this up. Can I put this side down? Because also with the hair clips, sometimes you can't put it down. There is a tiny amount of scuffing you can do once it's laid, but mostly there'll be too much glue on the edges that will then be pulled into the centre, so you can't really move things. But ta-da! It's done. Right, let's just leave these to dry and then we can look at assembling. This is a real ta-da moment for me because it does look how I imagined, and yet when it's hung, it's so lovely and it brings so much character to what is usually otherwise a pretty boring space of a landing over your stairs. It is much closer to you when you are upstairs than I bargained on. Probably should have thought about that, but you are much closer to it, and that does mean that you can see some of my mistakes. But I have to say that I love it nonetheless, and the sort of different shades of light that it throws around the place are really fun, as well as it just being a really interesting piece. So as much as it was a struggle, I do think it was worth it, though would I repeat the process again? Possibly not. Anyway, that brings me to the end of this video. Thank you for watching if you've stuck with me this long. And I have more house projects coming soon if you've enjoyed this one, so do look out for those. Otherwise, I'll be back on the craft projects really soon. Bye for now. And it does mean that hopefully I will definitely have enough lighting gels. Fingers crossed, because I've definitely said that before. I mean, yeah, just see the ombre wall video. Anyway, onward. Ooh. Come back there. Okay, it doesn't come out too fast or too big. It's quite hard to get out. See, that wasn't so long, was it? Ooh. Don't mess up. And to be fair, not all of them are good ideas. Not all ideas can be good ideas, but some ideas you have to try to work out if they are good ideas or not. So it's not always going to be your latest masterpiece, but that doesn't mean it's not worth trying.